Welcome back, everybody, to Out the Field Podcast, episode number 95. The calendar has rolled into December. That is why I am decked out. Santa, Christmas tree, it's all here. And so is our guest today, Tweezy, the vendor in the house.
What's up, guys? Doing? Let's go. We're on Off the Field Podcast. It's your boy, Tweezy, the vendor. Yes, sir. Live, episode number 95.
That's right. And I was going to say, I think it'd be more proper if you were to introduce yourself, how you do, like, whenever anybody asks to film with you at the games. You know, it's your boy, Tweezy the vendor, like, right into it. So do you want to give us your best?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. What's up, guys? It's your boy, Tweezy the vendor right here. Let's go. We are live tonight on the podcast, but I just want you guys to remember, it ain't easy being Tweezy.
Yes, sir. So how's off season, man? I know baseball is like when your workload is at its highest. How's this cool down? Are you still like putting in all that same everyday work? Does it slow down? What's the difference?
Honestly, man. So after working baseball for seven months out of the year, because spring training included, it does slow down a little bit, but usually by choice, because I can travel most of the country. Going to most different big music venues, sports venues, but I kind of choose to have like more days off because November, December, and January is usually like my slower time.
It's also holidays
too, but sometimes all the work I put in every single day for the rest of the year, it gets tiring. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of labor.
It's a physical job that you do.
No, definitely. Yeah. A lot of people don't think how like hard the job is. They just think, oh, you just carry it.
Nah, dude. Like, I've always thought if you're a vendor, you're carrying a whole crate of beer, ice cream sandwiches, popcorn. It's heavy carrying all of it, and then you're going up and down ramps, stairs, covering the stadium, trying to sell this product. It definitely is physically demanding. I don't know what people are talking about to think the opposite.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I'm going on my 11th year of vending, man. This was actually like my first official job with the Padres when I was 16. But it actually goes way back. I started selling like candy in middle school, 7th grade. And then in high school, I used to sell hot Cheetos.
So you've always been a salesman.
Yeah, I've always been a salesman and never been shy. And so I was always told, close mouth, don't get fed. So if you want to go get the money, go
out there and get it.
Go out there and get it.
Yeah.
So, just been vending for 11 years now. 6 seasons with the Dodgers, two full seasons with the Angels. I put some time up at the Giant Stadium like a few years ago in San Fran. Padre Stadium, been there a few seasons.
Yeah.
Oakland A's, I vended like a few games there.
You got it before they left.
Man.
Shipped out to Vegas.
Dude, the Oakland Coliseum, oh my God, it was one of the funnest, easiest like stadiums to work. It was like the way they had it set up was every section in the stadium, you can take like little flights of stairs to get to the second level, and then boom, little flights of stairs, bam, to the third level. And then so they never had issues of like people getting crowded trying to all go one direction. It was literally like, and it was super like vendor friendly, like easy to get anywhere in the whole stadium in any level, like in 2 minutes.
So what if I flip that question? You say Oakland was one of the easier vendor-friendly stadiums. What's one of the more non-friendly vendor stadiums, harder to get around from the way you've worked? So you said San Diego, San Fran, Anaheim, Dodgers. Those are the ones that I know off the top of my head.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Just baseball?
You can include other ones if they are above all the baseball ones, I would say. What other ones have you done outside of baseball? You just went to Baltimore, right? You did the Ravens.
I just did Thursday Night Football, Ravens. That was cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
SoFi. You've done SoFi.
Yeah, no, I've done SoFi, Niners. I mean, somebody asked me the other day, like, how many venues have you worked like in the U.S.? And I was like trying to think. I'd have to really sit down and think about it, but it's probably like around like 40, 50.
Oh, wow.
Maybe, it could be more. I'm just like being nice with it.
That's more than I thought you did. I thought you were strongly California. Like,
No.
Yeah.
I've been to Colorado 2 times.
Okay.
I've been to Tennessee, Baltimore.
Tennessee Titans.
No, Tennessee. We went to Bristol Speedway. It was like it was like during the COVID like era.
That's
like,
where they're about to have the Speedway MLB game next year. I'm
Yeah.
really trying to go to that.
Dude,
And,
that would
yeah.
be epic. I mean, if
Yeah.
I have some free time, I might consider going because
Yeah.
that venue, it's a NASCAR track.
Yeah.
And it holds, I think like 160,000
Mhm.
people. So imagine to see that. I mean, I don't think 160,000 baseball fans are gonna go, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they're going to cut out probably like 40,000 seats to set it
Yeah.
up for a baseball game.
Right.
But even still, that's double.
No,
than
that's epic
The
still.
Dodgers, who have the most at like 52,000 or something like
yeah,
that.
they're up there. I
Yeah.
think we max out at the Dodgers. I think at 55 because every time I get the email with the attendance and all the gate times and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it always like caps. I'd have to check, but I think it's like 55, 56, but that's like standing room including.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty big. Dodger Stadium, I think, is like the second or third biggest baseball stadium in America, I think, or something.
I think capacity wise,
Yeah,
think it
capacity-wise.
holds the most, I think. I'm almost positive.
I'm not sure. I think
Yeah. Because I know my friends always are dogging on me. They're like, we seat like 50,000 every day. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, that's 10,000 more than our stadium can even hold. So,
right.
But Angels aren't sitting that many these
Man,
days.
I mean, for opening day,
The Yankees coming to town.
the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, you'll see Angel Stadium, packed house.
Yeah.
You can tailgate there, and prices are
True.
cheap to get a ticket. I mean,
True.
cheaper than a lot of other stadiums compared to like Petco, Dodgers.
Same with the parking, man. Parking's $20.
Oh yeah, parking's super
Yeah.
cheap. I do like what I do like about Angel Stadium is the parking is just flat.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of easy to just boom like when you're leaving.
You ever want advice for parking if you've never been to an Angel game? Do not park in the big lot in right field / first base. That lot takes forever to get out of.
Man, yeah, there is some lots that
Yeah.
you're just sitting there because it's like 10 lanes all trying to get into one lane, and then you go after the other person, and oh man, and if you're stuck in the back,
Oh, good luck.
there's like
You might as well just play catch and just wait.
yeah, just wait out the 1 hour, just grab a beer in the car, and
Yeah.
no, don't drink and drive though.
Don't do that.
I don't condone that.
Yeah, for sure. Don't do that. But, yeah. Have you thought about which stadium you would say is one of the tougher
difficult
ones?
Well, as far as like vending wise, I wanna. It's kind of weird to say, but I kind of want to say like Angel Stadium in a way. For these two reasons. The first reason is if you happen to vend upstairs only, those steps are like deadly. Some of them have cracks, and then like where you have to pick up your product. If you want to vend like a food item at Angel Stadium, you have to pick it up below the right field like big screen that we have.
I know what you're talking about.
So you have to pick it up there, and then you have to like either take the ramp or the stairs, take it all the way up, and then like I said, if you're working upstairs, those steep stairs, could you imagine, like even if it's a packed house, somebody goes like they're way up there and they're like, oh, we'll take whatever you're selling, a hot dog or whatever. Oh, we'll take one, boom, and then you get all the way up there. They ask for the price and they're like, oh, never mind. Or you're like, or you tell them the price and we're like, oh, it's card only. And they're like, oh, we only have cash.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you went all the way. And those stairs are no joke. I swear, like.
And the crazy thing is, some of them are like this big of a step, and then some are like this big of a step.
Man. So, yeah, the steep steps, and then how far like the vending room is to get the stuff. And then if you're working on the left field side, you have to, most of the time, depending on the product you have to come all the way to the right field side on the opposite side of the stadium just to get to that side. So it's like the distance it take, like you're taking like a lot of time just to go from one side of the stadium to re-up from the other side of the stadium and then do it all over again. Like, So
Yeah.
I mean, the Angel Stadium could be one of them. I had to think. There's not really so many stadiums that are too difficult to work.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Angel Stadium has to be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you can dog on them, go ahead, bro. I hate the state of the team right now, so already sell it. Give it to a kid who offers you like a lollipop or something, bro. We're done with you.
You know, or something.
Like it's just like the girlfriend that just keeps coming back, bro. Like we've moved on from you. Your time's up.
And I was saying like because of California is packed with sports teams all around. Angel Stadium should be a winning team. Like in beautiful Southern California, like
Yep.
you know, I mean, it's been a little while now, but something's got to turn around for this team.
Yeah.
Because whether I work there or not, would love to even see an opposing team like the Angels to pack their stadium. There's only 81 games out of the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that live in California, you know, why not? Like pack the stadium.
Yeah, and my friend Tony always says, say the Dodgers aren't offering you a contract, right? But say the Angels do. They may not be on the level of the Dodgers, but are you going to ignore the weather? Beautiful, sunny California every day. Like, you can't beat that. Like, that's got to be a factor in why people come and choose these California teams for sure. And that's definitely a factor I would consider. And I also don't want to brush over this. Mobo is not here today, as you may see. Last episode, he told us all, surprised me, that he's going to New York. He landed today. He is back, but he's beat. So we'll see him next week in that episode. We'll talk about everything he did in New York. And we'll also address the questions that I asked you guys for on the podcast Instagram. That'll be all in the next episode. And like you mentioned to us earlier, you've been vending for 11 years, and you said this was your first job?
Yeah, this was my first job. I did have like a few other jobs, but this one kind of just stuck. Like I kind of like came back to it, and then it only increased from there.
Yeah. When you first started, did the personality come along with the vending, the show and everything, or is this something you kind of built up to along all these years?
Well, my personality's always been the same, but back when I used to work for the Padres as a vendor, they used to call me the Wave Man. I was like, I was like, before like I had social media for vending, I literally was like, I used to see people struggle and try and do the wave at a baseball game, and I thought it was cool, like being young. Like I was like, ooh, the wave, like imagine the whole stadium all together, boom. You know. So I've always been a fan of the wave. I know there's people who are super anti-wave, and then like when their team is batting anti-wave, like I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying?
I actually agree with that part. When my team's batting, don't do the wave.
Yeah, so it distracts the batter. So I've heard that forever, bro. Like forever. So the personality's always been there, but like I've only learned to have more fun the more I did the job. But nonetheless, it's a sales job, and you only have a certain amount of time to make your money because you're not getting paid by the hour. We don't get paid salary. You're only based solely off a small percent of your sales and then plus your tips, which I would say like 90% of people don't know that, and that's okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's fine. And but so time is of the essence. Like you gotta be like, if you're having a 5-minute conversation with somebody that you haven't seen in a while, that 5 minutes you could have been selling like 20 other items depending on what event you're at, if it's selling crazy like that.
Yeah, so because your paycheck is that game time, and that's typically like 3 hours.
Well, now it's, dude,
with all the rule changes,
us vendors been hurting at least an extra 30 to 40 minutes due to like the pitch clock. The pitch clock, the game. And this is vendors across the country. We've all talked about this. We all make like, it almost seems like it almost seems like 2 less innings, but that doesn't make sense. But I'm just talking about like the time. Like 2 innings could take, you know, almost roughly 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, but that the time, because the games are faster now, it's just that much less time to maximize your sales in that time period.
Yeah,
So,
and that's what you're saying also. When you want to meet up with somebody or talk to a friend, that's all that time being taken away to go sell, like you said, like maybe 20 more hot dogs or whatever you're trying to do that day. Time really is money for you in this case.
yeah, and then it's
Yeah.
super like with the pitch clock for the past, I don't know, it's been like 2-3 years now. I think everything changed like after COVID. I don't remember when they made the pitch clock rule, but
Yeah.
since then it's been really tough. You're like trying to, let's say you're selling hot dogs and it's the 5th inning. Next thing you know, you turn around and it's like going into the top of the 7th. You're like, bro, nobody eats hot dogs. I mean, some people eat hot dogs in the 7th inning, but the majority of people, they eat certain things at a certain time. Kind of like drinking, we got to cut off alcohol in most stadiums by the 7th inning, and then boom, there's dessert. Well, hot dogs, people are eating hot dogs from like the 1st inning to like the 5th inning, and then it super slows down like the 6th, 7th inning, and then nobody's buying it in the 8th and the 9th inning. So the hot dog guy is probably already on the freeway going back home.
Yeah. For you, in your opinion, what is your favorite item to sell?
Favorite item, it'd have to be ice cream for sure because of the dry ice. That's like the main thing. That's mainly like partially what my you know what I got going on at Dodger Stadium and sometimes Angel Stadium when I sell ice cream is the dry ice effect. But money wise, beer will always be the best. Yeah, like the number one by far.
Is it the highest priced item that a vendor can sell? Beer, you would say?
Yeah, 100%. Right below that is a few dollars. Like for example, like at Dodger Stadium, the popcorn is like $16.
Because that comes with like a souvenir bucket.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff,
a souvenir
right?
bucket. 16, 24, I believe. I don't know why that number, but then the pizza is like around $17. So it's like right around, like it's almost where the beer price is, but our commission wise, the beer is always almost half or like just a few % less than the food is because how much easier and faster the beer sells compared to the food. Whoop, compared to
it's all good. You're good.
Compared to the, did I drop something?
No, it was like this little like cup thing. It's plastic. It's fine.
That's funny. But yeah.
And what about easiest item to sell? What do you think?
Easy pizza.
Pizza,
dude. There's not enough pizza vendors in stadiums, and it's just that staple item that like you don't even have to know English to know that like everybody knows pizza. Like I feel like almost.
I also think it falls into the category of like anybody from the age of like 3 to 99 is gonna eat it.
Eat a pizza.
Like it's in that category of chicken tenders. Kids like, oh, I don't know what I want. Give me chicken tenders. Give me pizza. Like it's just the easy go-to item.
Yeah, it's a go-to item.
Yeah.
Plus it's hot usually.
Yeah. Hopefully,
man.
What about on the opposite end? Hardest item to sell.
Oh. Oh my God! Try selling frozen lemonade at a night game.
Oh yeah, anything cold at a night game.
Oh my God! No. Specifically frozen lemonade. Like, that item on a hot day goes crazy, but on a night game it's hella cold. Cause the thing is, like, I guess like frozen lemonade is a type of ice cream, but like most ice cream is dairy. Frozen lemonade has no dairy. Yeah. But it's like a frozen lemon chill, like what they used to call it. Yeah. And so like. Not only is it like rock solid frozen in your hands, while you're in the cold, you're like trying to eat it spoon after spoon, like over and over, and you know you're about to get a brain freeze and everything. Ice cream's different. You can, I always believed it could rain, it could snow. People will always eat ice cream no matter the time of day, no matter how cold.
I'm that way. Like if I go to get coffee and it's cold outside, but my favorite drink is like a blended drink, I'm still going to get it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. What about this happens a few times, but I want to know from your side, your opinion. Throughout, let's just say one MLB season, how often does somebody actually buy out your inventory? So like what you're carrying. I've seen that happen a few times with the ice cream where somebody buys your box and then just gifts it to like the whole section.
So I don't know how it just started happening, but
Yeah.
6 times I've counted,
Yeah.
and in one season, this
Yeah.
past season,
Yeah.
that's never really. I mean, like it's happened like a few times over the years. Like, oh, let me buy like 5 and give some out, but
Yeah.
like not like let me buy you out completely. A big,
Yeah.
a big, you know, like an ice cream
Yeah.
like load, hot dog load. It actually happened at one of the times actually happened at Angel Stadium. I told a guy, super baller, I can't remember his name, but right behind the dugout of the Angels, behind the net, near the home plate, I had 20 hot dogs left.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was like 7th inning. I was like struggling. It was like already that time, like nobody's eating hot dogs.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You have 20 in there? I'll buy all of them."
Oh,
And
wow.
then so he was like, "Just give it." I was like tossing them here and there, boom, 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 and then the condiments they come separate.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
Who wants what?
ketchup, Mr. Mustard, boom, 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 boom. I still have
Yeah.
the video. I had to post it. But it was the lady. I told her she had one job, just a nice video. She's like all scrambled. You guys will see the video eventually. But yeah, no. So it's happened 6 times.
Do you remember your reaction the first time somebody did that, where they said, "I'm going to buy the whole thing"?
Man, I'm trying to remember the first time that happened. Oh.
I mean, it's got to be crazy when you're just used to like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah,
And then somebody's like, "Give me all of them."
Yeah, no. It's definitely because, like I said, like you don't have so much time to sell, and then you're based off how much you sell, a small percentage. And so when someone like wants to buy you out, it's like, oh hell yeah, like. There's a famous content creator. His name is Juice. I believe he's from San Diego. I really love what he's got going on. He buys out vendors, and then like let's say a paletero at the beach, and he'll buy them out, and then he'll just give out all the ice cream.
Oh hell yeah!
So it just kind of like it's a really good feeling when someone wants to buy me out, and then we get to spread like the same love. I mean, even if they want to hand them out, or if they want to do whatever they want to do with them, that's fine. But when they let me throw them out,
yeah,
I think it just brings so much excitement and joy to the whole section, and it's like it's a good feeling, like that somebody out there wants to not only show me love, but like they want to show the community some love too. So it's really there's a couple people trying to think 2 times Diablo, that's what they call him. That's his nickname right there at Dodger Stadium. He bought me out 2 times, and then Raul, he's the one one of my most viral videos right now is going around. He bought 43 ice creams. It came out to like $311. He hit me with that 20% tip. Awesome. Very generous. It was at the World Series, I believe. I'm trying to remember. I think it had to have been like game 2, I believe. And then like 5 minutes after that, I don't remember the gentleman, but he was sitting at the lower section, 1 row over. He said, "How many you got?" I was like, "I want a box. I want to buy a box." It was like 5 minutes right after Raul bought a box. I was like, "Oh my God." Like, cause I had went to go re-up. I wanted to get 2 boxes, but sometimes the room staff, they're trying to leave early. Yeah. And I'm trying to make money. Cause this is how I pay bills. This is my living. Yeah. And so I wanted to get 2 boxes. They only gave me 1 box. So I came all the way straight back to the guy and I said, "Oh, I'll be right back. I'll go bring you a brand new box, unopened." And then he ended up buying the box, and then I was done for the day, even though I was trying to sell more. But the games go so fast, so they don't want you coming in like all last minute in the 9th inning when all the fans are leaving, and then you gotta wait for the escalator, and then you gotta wait for the elevator. So that's why like the room staff, they're trying to like leave a little bit earlier, and then sometimes we gotta shuttle to our car. They make us park at like convention center, like for the big games like that. Yeah. It's a free shuttle, but it's like a 15-minute or more shuttle.
It's not like right
to
there.
And from. No, it's not right there. So sometimes that can happen, but yeah.
So most people can catch you at Dodger Stadium that live around here. That's where most of your work is done, I would say. And if you're not there, you can be seen at Angel Stadium, SoFi. But what's your favorite venue that you've ever worked, or maybe like a top 3?
Oh.
Because you don't only do sports, you've done music festivals too. I've seen that. You get posted on your stories a few times as well.
Man, just this past weekend, Long Beach, Zombieland Apocalypse, the rave. It was a 2-day rave. That's the name of the rave. But right by the Queen Mary, it's like it's connected to the Queen Mary, and it holds maybe like 20,000 or more.
Yeah.
It had to have been. But my first time at that venue, set up like that, was at Day Trip in June. It was like a couple days, I think, before or after my birthday in June, because my birthday is June 27th. And
hey, June 21st.
Oh, let's go!
Look at that, June birthdays.
Yeah. And yeah, that is just, the scenery is great. You know, you can see like the whole ocean right there, and then the Queen Mary, like the view of the boat is dope. They had like 4 or 5 stages.
Yeah.
They did it pretty big this past rave. SoFi Stadium has to be like one of my all-time favorites so far.
Yeah.
Cardinal Stadium in Arizona. That's a really nice stadium. I like how it opens and closes.
Yeah.
Super nice. The aisles are super long. The scenery is great. 49er Stadium, that one's pretty good. Believe it or not, it's actually crazy. San Francisco Giants Stadium, I mean, don't get me wrong. Padre Stadium, really nice. You know, you get the view of downtown.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been cooler if the Padre Stadium was turned around.
That's what I always say about the Dodger Stadium.
If it was turned around, yeah.
Because then you'd get the skyline of L.A.
Yeah, dude. I've always said that about Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
But Giant Stadium, if you sit in the nosebleeds at Giant Stadium during a day game, dude, it's the nicest. You can see Oakland from across the water. You can see the whole ocean. It's great.
Yeah,
you can see one of the San Francisco bridges towards the left. It's
any
it's
stadium
nice.
with water right outside of it just adds to it, makes it 10 times better.
Yeah, no,
you
for
got
sure.
San Fran, you got Cincinnati, you got Pittsburgh. They all are amazing because of the bodies of water that they have, like beyond the outfield and everything. Have you done Intuit Dome yet?
So I never been to Intuit Dome. I wish that I could work Intuit Dome, but so this stadium, I think they're forever not gonna have the vending program because vending, it's a
Oh, that's right, because it's you just walk in and grab
you like
your
walk
stuff.
in and grab your stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they detect like your face. I don't know how to explain. I never been there, but
I've been there one time, and now that you bring that up, I totally forgot about that. I don't think I even saw a vendor. I think it's just you go and it's like you said, you walk in, grab what you want. They have people watching you, but I totally blanked on just paying attention if there was like a vendor actually going up and down the rows. No.
yeah. So we actually have a Facebook page. It's like over 1,100 of us, all the vendors across the country.
So vending is like a big community.
I wouldn't say big, but like it's more like if you know, you know. Like we all go through similar things as vendors. Like same job, different state, and then a lot of us travel, but some of us like they just stay local.
Yeah. Do you know Reggie?
Reggie,
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 the beer guy.
Yeah. Did you ever throw him on a podcast?
We did. He
Nice.
reached out to Mobo, and then we made it happen and learned all about his journey of
Oh,
how he
cool.
wants to do like all the MLB stadiums. And
Yeah.
everything.
He wants to be the first vendor. Well, before him, there was a guy named Eric Schultz. I still talk to him here till this day. It was actually kind of inspiring. It was kind of cool. He would tell me, yeah, I'm going to do Monday night in Detroit, and then on Tuesday I'll be in Wisconsin doing a Packers game, and then Wednesday I'll be in San Francisco doing a Niners game, and then Thursday night football will be in California at the LA Coliseum, and then Friday, like he would tell me he would go city to city, and that was the first vendor like I knew like, oh wow, like damn, there must be serious money in this. I'm like, but nobody pays. Like 9 out of 10, nobody pays for your flight, nobody pays for your bus travels, your rental cars, your hotels. Nobody pays for that.
Yeah.
Back then, maybe 1 out of 10 companies would be like, hey, if you travel with another guy or if you travel with 3 other guys, we got you on your hotel or we got you on your rental car. And then, you know, you go make this company a couple $1,000s and then it would be worth it. But no, I think that's really great what Reggie's doing. You could catch him at Reg the Beer Guy. I keep telling him he needs to produce more content and release more content because he travels. He's like the only vendor right now that's probably worked like literally almost every single baseball and NFL stadium to exist like currently right now in the U.S.
Yeah, I've seen on his stories when he'll post his schedule, and it's like you said, it's like, I'm here this day, I'm here this day. And me, I just imagine how tiring that is, and just props to him for doing all that traveling, because there's times where I do one flight, and I'm like, man, that kicked my ass. I'm going to sit in the hotel for today, and we'll get started the next day. So for him to do that, get off the plane, go work a vending job,
Man.
go to the next city, do it again, and... Dude, I props to you. Just props to all vendors, honestly.
Super respect for Reggie. I mean, he says yoga is a big reason why he's
really
healthy. He's into yoga. And then he plays a lot of like racquetball or tennis.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen him post that. Yeah.
And I seen him. I have a video of him at the Giants. It was like during the playoffs, I think like 2 or 3 years ago. He was carrying, but it was like he took this load out in like the 5th inning, but I think it was too big of a load personally. But he took out like a whole, like 120 16-ounce beers.
Oh my god!
My max before like my body gives up and gets tired. My max that I can do like up and down the aisles is like roughly like, it really depends like how hard I go, but like 60 to 72. But that's like plus like 15 pounds of ice. So each beer is like about a pound or more, but comfortably. I like if I could do 48, no problem. But the more you carry, the more potential that you can make. But you move a lot slower. Like a guy like me carrying 48, and if he's taking out 120, by the time I sell my 48, he probably has like 70 beers left. Boom, I go get another 48, sell that real quick. He probably has like 20 beers left, and I'm already done with 96 beers. You know, so it really just depends. Like if you're fast, like you can make some good money. Speed is everything, because
I've seen it with you. Like I'll see you at Dodger Stadium, you'll call out, nobody's answering, you're sprinting back up the steps.
Oh yeah, I'm going quick. If I feel like the energy is like nobody wants to buy nothing here, like I'm not trying to waste no more time here. And like I really like how people, I mean, it's cool that some people are like, oh yo, dance, do this, but like I kind of like to do like when I'm vibing, when I'm in my zone, you know, I'll do it, you know, when I feel like I want to do it. But also like I'm also trying to make a living too at the same time. So a lot of people don't, like I said, most people probably don't know that we don't even get paid hourly. So if I don't sell nothing, like I'm not making nothing.
Have you ever worked with Reg? Have you two ever done the same?
Oh venue? We, man, I should have took this bet. It was $100 bet. Me versus Reg, but I just, not that I didn't believe in myself, but I knew how good he is, and I knew how much more beer he can carry than me. It was like it was a Giants baseball game, and I think we both did like $4,000 in sales or something like that. But like I beat him by like, it was like by like 200 sales, so that's only like less than 10 beers.
Okay,
so we were like neck and neck. You know. So. But I mean, I was going hard, but I don't think I was. If there's money on the line, which I have put money against myself, like, you know,
that's
like
a way to keep it fun too.
Yeah. Like friendly bets, you know. When you could only put the bet if you're selling the same item in the same like area, sort of.
Gotcha.
You can't sell pizza and I sell churros, and your pizza is like $17 and my churros like $5. You sell 100 pizzas, that's $1,700 in sales. If I sell 100 churros, that's like $500 in sales. You see what I'm saying?
There's
like,
advantage and disadvantage.
But no, it's cool. We've gone neck and neck, but like I take it more serious when there's money on the line. I take it more serious. So if I did place that bet, I feel like I probably would have surpassed them just a little bit. But I will always say this, and a lot of the vendors in the vending community, they will always say this: California vendors, like the ones that are like their whole industry has been from Cali, will always be pretty much, I want to say, better than the rest of the country of the vendors that they have, because we didn't have beer vending for 40 years. And so we had to sell food. So we had to hustle like hard.
Yeah.
And so when you give these guys beers that had beer in Chicago or Florida, New York, when they had beer vending forever, you know, it's really not that hard to sell a beer.
Yeah.
Now, if you know how to talk to people and you know how to carry heavy weight, it's really not. Now, if you try to, even if you know how to carry heavy weight and you know how to talk to people, can you sell a churro? Can you sell a hot dog? Can you sell ice cream? Yeah. Can you like sell, like, I'm talking massive numbers. Like I'm talking like 1,500 in sales, $2,000 in sales, $3,000 in sales, and just food, like a $5 to a $10 item compared to like a $15 beer. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big, you know, the real true vendors, and a lot of people could say this, are from California.
Yeah. And I think it's all about adding that show to it, like you've been able to do with the ice cream and the dry ice. I know there's a guy at Angel Stadium with the churro. He's got the little rubber one. He throws it like skies in the air.
Yeah, that's my homie Jose. I told him a long time ago to make. He stopped working there this past season, but I told him that he has some, because he sometimes gets churros at Dodger Stadium. Yeah, and I told him to make his like an Instagram just for the fun of it, and you never know where it can go. Yeah. And he was like, I would call myself Air Churro Man. And it's just though you just see a flying churro up in the air, and you're like, what the, like everybody's like, what is that? Like, you know, so and it like wiggles. It's so funny.
I think another thing that the whole showmanship of vending should be recognized, and I think it would work perfect together. The Savannah Bananas, they're all about showmanship and adding a show to baseball. But you know what they've never had? A show vendor, like somebody like you. I think you'd be perfect to go there. Like they're coming to Anaheim next year, and to have a vendor in the stands.
Oh, nice.
Who's
Where
also at? The Angel Stadium.
The Savannah Bananas.
Yes.
Are coming to Angel Stadium. Yes. Oh, that's going to be crazy. Yeah. Dude, and dude, it's crazy because when they first started, nobody really kind of, But then they just started blowing up the past couple years, and it's been going crazy, selling out stadium to stadium, city to city. It's ridiculous. And it's cool, like, you know, for like the families and the kids and stuff. Like, it's like getting them involved in a sport, but also having like fun with it, you know? So it's kind of like teaching the community, like, hey, like, you know, you can play a sport and also have fun, like, you know. Yeah. So I really like what they got going on. Yeah. The dancing umpire actually follows me. I think you went to the...
He's awesome.
I think you went to the... Did you go to the Fresno?
I went to Fresno and the one at Progressive where the Guardians play.
Yeah, so I seen Savannah... I worked Savannah Bananas at Peoria Sports Complex.
You did?
Yeah, I worked that one in Arizona. I worked the one in... I think Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh, I was there too for that one.
There was
one of them. I think they put like
the Fresno one.
Yeah.
Where else?
Yeah, I just think that'd be amazing if they had like a character that
vendor. I know, dude. If they ever want to reach out, hey,
yeah,
I'll totally be open to it and just go on tour with them.
He has my vote. Like, I think that's something that they can definitely add to the show.
Yeah, they could definitely add to the show.
So they've had vendors, but like to have a vendor that is a
specifically part of the show, that would be crazy. Yeah, I don't think they ever thought of that, but you know, if they, you know, needed to reach out, you already know where to find me, Tweezy the vendor.
Yes, sir. So with all the venues you've worked, is there a venue out there you haven't worked that you really want to work?
Oh man, the Packers.
Lambeau
Field. Probably Yankee Stadium because of the history, you know.
I think you'll find Lambeau pretty crazy. I went there for Sunday Night Football a couple years ago, and you can really tell when you're in the stands how old school that stadium is. Because like we were packed in there. Like your knees are on the person in front of you's back.
No way.
Because it's bleacher seating too, so there's no backrest. So it's just like you're sitting just on stone benches.
Oh man.
It can be pretty rough, like if you're watching. So I don't remember how narrow the aisles were, but just with how packed we were as fans, I feel like it's going to be tight running up and down those stairs.
Man.
But yeah, man, it's a cool venue. It's really sick. And it's in like a neighborhood. Like if you were to just put a football field in this neighborhood, That's what it's like.
It's like the only thing in that whole city like that like pops out like that.
Yeah. Like it's flat, all houses, and then there's just Lambeau Field. It's crazy.
Do you have what would be if you had a favorite baseball stadium in America? What would it be?
Right now it's PNC. So
Nice.
I've done 26 out of the 30.
Out of the 30.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
What are you missing?
I'm missing Minnesota, Cincinnati, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore.
Nice.
And I have pretty good connections for Minnesota and Cincinnati, so I'm hoping we'll get that done in 2025. And then I want to do Baltimore and D.C. as a combo because they're so close to each other.
Yeah.
I would kind of regret not knocking them both out in the same trip. They're an hour apart, like on the subway.
Oh, so, damn, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Speaking about Orioles, man, I love when the anthem, I love what they got going on.
Yeah. They did that at Angels Stadium.
Man,
it caught me
they
off
do it
guard.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. They just did it when the Ravens was just in
that's right.
at SoFi. Yeah. They did it again. Like it's crazy. And so I just found there's this famous guy, Clancy the beer guy. Mm-hmm. He has his own one of his friends made his own beer, and he has a custom bobblehead. He's super famous at the Orioles Stadium. He's been there like over 40, 50 years. He actually told me that he has the connection so that if I ever want to come work sell beer at the Orioles Stadium, upstairs only, because downstairs is in-house local guys only.
Gotcha.
He said, yeah, just reach out to me.
That'd be crazy if we could cross it over to where like you go out there and then
you're
I plan
out there.
the game out there.
Well, I want to go when the Dodgers go.
Okay.
Personally.
Do they go next year in 2025?
Well, I think all the teams play each other at least one time.
They do, but now it's like everyone does play each other, but like it'll switch who goes where.
Oh,
so
okay,
like,
I got you.
No, Orioles were here last season, so that means Dodgers are going to Baltimore in 2025.
Possibly.
It switches.
Oh, okay, interesting. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't visit one time to each other.
I think because it's American League, we're gonna play you one series, and it's either gonna be in our stadium or it's gonna be in your stadium.
So, like for the Yankees and the Dodgers, for example, will they go back to the
Yankees and Dodgers
because the Dodgers went to the Yankee Stadium
in regular season. So next season they should be coming to you guys.
I think don't they always?
They might just because of how big the matchup is.
Right,
because there's some matchups that happen every single year regardless, like Baltimore and.
I think baseball has been way more exciting apart from like the pitch clock.
The runner on second rule, I hate that rule.
That's that rule needs to get rid of. But no, what's been exciting is everybody plays everybody.
Yeah, I love that we see every opponent now.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's great for the whole entire league. It keeps things more exciting. Yeah. Different people from different states are visiting.
Like for example, I want to see Paul Skeens pitch at one point, hopefully next season. If it wasn't for how the way baseball is now, who knows how long I'd see before the Angels take on the Pirates. But now it's guaranteed. The Angels went there last year, so by my logic, they should be coming to us this year. And I think it's better. You get to see all the superstars cross through your town and all the guys that you want to see. There's at least a shot that it's going to happen compared to before where it was strongly AL v AL and NL versus NL. You never knew. Like there's some years where you just miss them. And you're like, all right, well, we're supposed to match up with the NL Central 2 years from now. So, but I like it how you said, how it is now, where everyone plays everyone. And it's really getting all the competition against each other. You don't miss out on everybody.
Yeah, you don't miss out on everything. Everybody, you really get to see like what teams are standing out like throughout the whole league, not just NL, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What are some big comparisons you would say working a sports venue and a music festival or a concert?
Big comparisons.
Or like what's different? What stands out from vending at each one?
The people.
Yeah.
The people stand out. It's kind of like, for example, if I work a country show, it'll be all Americans, everybody drinking Coors Light.
I was gonna say, imagine those beer sales are way up,
crazy high, super high. I love working country shows.
Yeah,
compared to a Raiders game where you're probably selling mainly Modelo.
Yeah,
You know, so it just varies.
Mm-hmm.
And the culture when it comes to sports, I feel like the culture is wide, is broad.
Yeah.
I think like when it comes to a specific genre of music, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you get certain people that listen to that specific music. Like for example, um, baseball. It's in different countries, but I feel like there's certain folk that don't like care or watch baseball. You know, kind of like certain people don't listen to country.
The amount of people I know that like went to an Angel game just because the ticket was $5 that could care less about baseball, but they're like, oh, let's go do something. No, this ticket's like $2. Like, so those are the people that stand out to me. Like when you say something like that, but yeah, I mean, you can have all kinds of different personalities with sports. I know shy people that are into sports. I know people that are super outgoing that are into sports. It's a huge spectrum. And then, like you said, I feel like with the concerts and the music, the personality will reflect whatever kind of concert it
Yeah,
is.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's actually crazy about baseball, because I've grown to love baseball. I actually used to not be a fan of baseball. I used to be like, oh, it's kind of whatever. Like baseball, like what? You just hit a ball,
Yeah.
catch it, throw it, boom. It didn't really seem exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I really liked basketball.
Okay.
I played a little bit of basketball growing
Yeah.
up. And then, but once I started working baseball games, I was like, this is a huge stadium. And then to see like a packed house, professional athletes getting paid millions of dollars to, you know, like put on a show / like a real game for everybody to watch live. Like it was just like really,
You're like, there's got to be some appeal to this.
yeah, you know. And so after like working it like for a while, it was kind of interesting. I used to work at the Angel Stadium when I was like 19 and like 20 years old. But the thing is, if you wanted to work baseball games, and I didn't work Angel Stadium for the longest time because of it. But like I didn't, like I grew my beard after high school. I forgot how many years after. But Angel Stadium had the Disneyland rule where no facial hair was allowed, kind of like the Yankees.
Yeah.
You had to be
I
like,
didn't know that.
yeah. Oh, it was for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, cooks, vendors, concessions, at everybody.
Yeah.
You could only have mustache and that's it. And like
Yeah.
your eyebrows, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
obviously everybody has eyebrows, but yeah, the beard, like you were not allowed to have any type of facial hair. So
Wow.
I used to always shave my beard in my younger days and like my early 20s because I wanted to work at Angel Stadium just to make a little bit of money. And the money wasn't crazy, but it was consistent.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I think COVID happened and then like they really needed to hire people.
Yeah.
And then I think ownership changed. I think, I don't know what happened, but it was like both of those or maybe one of those two things. And then they say, hey, facial hair is fine. Just keep it nice.
Yeah.
So I always try to have like at least a haircut, like, you know, coming into work, you know what I'm saying? But that's a good thing that they don't have that facial rule because there's a lot of people with beards that work there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had that rule? Like, I didn't even want to work there because I wanted my facial hair.
Yeah.
But some people are like, bro, like, but it's money, bro. Like, you're not going to sacrifice your facial hair to make a living? I was like,
it's also changing your way of life, like how you like to live.
Yeah.
Just for it. Like,
yeah. And it wasn't like I was making like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We're talking about like maybe like $150. Like, you know, I mean, yeah, we put in like the 3 hours or whatever, but it wasn't like for a vendor to make $150. That's not that bad. You know, when you break down the hours, you know, it's 50 an hour. But your goal is to like make way more than
go
that.
crazy with it.
But every city and every state that you vend in is different percentages, different items that you sell. You know, some guys, like for example, Chicago Cubs, they've been there 40 years or more. They get the best beer spot and the home plate, and they make all that money because they put in that much time, and there's a union.
Yeah.
But like SoFi Stadium, it's always 100. We have 100 cap of vendors, It's like always 100 vendors. We have beer, ice cream, kettle corn, and pop. We have beer, ice cream, and popcorn. It's a free for all. You're not sectioned. You
Yeah.
can go upstairs, middle
wow.
section, lower section. It's up to you. You know.
Yeah, because I know like Angel Stadium, you'll tell me I'm working here.
This
to here
section,
today.
yeah. So Angel Stadium, they copied the Dodgers. Stadium used to be free for all. If you had two popcorn guys, boom, free for all, go wherever.
Yeah.
But now they thought it was a good idea to copy the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they split it by the middle, and I'll explain that right now. But at Angel Stadium, there's pros and cons to having it the Dodger way, but the Dodger way for the longest time this is how they'll do it. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. They'll have two guys on the entire field level. Now you have left field, right field at Dodger Stadium, and then you have the left pavilion, and then you have the right pavilion. They split the Peanuts and the Cracker Jack. There's one guy who takes care of all of section 1 through 50 or 1 through 51.
Yeah.
All left field and the left pavilion. And then the other Peanut Cracker Jack guy takes the right field from section 2 all the way to 50.
Yeah.
And then the right field pavilion.
Yeah.
And so now there's one vendor on each side taking care of each side all game.
Yeah.
So they don't overlap each other. They don't take from each other's section.
Yeah.
And so it's like that for Dippin' Dots. 1-1.
Yeah.
It's like that for churros. 1-1. Hot dogs. 1-1. But the ice cream I sell, because it's not a high demand item like Dippin' Dots, it's just one for the entire level, left, right, and both pavilions. Just one. So people ask, well, do you have to be in this area, or like how do you know where to go? And I just, for the whole 6 seasons that I've been working there, for the field level, it's always just been like, let's see if we can go here and like sell, like the goal is to sell, like as much as possible.
Yeah.
But the pavilions will always be and forever be my favorite sections, just because like it's just so much fun, so much space to roam around. Like I don't feel like, like on field level at Dodger Stadium, I don't know whose idea was it to make those one person aisles. Like that was not the most brilliant idea. Like who thinks of that? Like you have to like lean over into a person for the other person to like pass by you. Like it's a one person.
Well, I wonder what it's going to look like coming up, because they just tore apart like all the field I think they're making like a more I'm just assuming they're making a more luxury baseline. Gotcha.
Because I was looking at like the what they were doing. I don't think they're going into the field seats where all the yellow seats are.
Yeah.
Where they're working on it, and you could see it's like all the blue seating. It's
where you need that like special ticket.
It's a special ticket. It's an all you can eat. They have sometimes they have like some more premium food. Free hot dogs, nachos, like free like water, soda.
So kind of like the home run seats also. That like front row in the outfield, the pavilions, where it's like the bar seating.
It's like exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, and it's crazy. Years ago, before COVID, the right field pavilion, I think they had that section when I was there, but there was a all-you-can-eat right field pavilion. I don't know if you...
I remember those days.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up in LA. I'm not from LA. And so people used to always tell me, like, every game, like, oh, they don't have the all-you-can-eat right field pavilion. I was like, no. It's like they made a specific separate entity, like home run seat. They call it Coca-Cola home run seats.
Yep.
Below the pavilion. It's really cool. Yeah. You have a server. You get all you can eat, whatever's on the menu.
Yep.
And they check up on you and stuff. All you gotta do is just buy the alcohol if you're drinking. But my best all-time experience at Dodger Stadium as a fan, I went to a game. I went to the Dugout Club. The Dugout Club.
I've been there. It's awesome.
It's for the ballers.
Yeah.
If you want to drop $700 on a ticket, it's your time to shine. You get, I'm telling you get steak, shrimp, lobster. You get like a pasta station cooked, like custom pasta.
You're on the level of the dirt,
dude,
too.
They had bro, it's so the level of the dirt.
Yeah.
It's a big cushion seat, like you know those reclining seats but it's just not reclining, but you know those nice seats at the theaters.
Oh yeah.
Super good. All you can eat chips, soda, water. Like the only thing you have to buy is just alcohol.
Yeah.
But they actually had like some premium like food. Like it's
I'll
Highly
never forget it. I've been there one time.
At the
in
Dugout
OC,
Club?
Yeah, and it was against the Pirates. I went with my friend Tony and the people who own Melissa's. Have you seen Melissa's, the sponsor? It's always over stadiums.
Is
the
it-
the
Oh, the
carrot?
carrot?
Yeah. So he knows the owners of Melissa's, the people that started the whole thing, and they invited us. And yeah, I remember going down into the whole dining room
Nice.
area, and I was like, my God. And it was the same day that Peso Pluma threw out the first pitch.
Oh, really? It was
So,
that day?
Yeah, he exited like right by the seats, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Peso Pluma."
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, you're totally right. That whole dugout club area is crazy.
Oh man, it's the best fan experience, and people are like, "Oh, I would never drop $600-700 on a ticket there," and I'm sure the prices are only going to go up. But
Yep.
tell me why I waited last minute, just out of the blue. The day before, like the night of, it was like around 10. I ended up buying 2 tickets for $300 each. So I got lucky.
That's a good deal there.
Yeah, 600 for
Yeah.
both. I was like, this is like a buy one get one.
Yeah.
And because they want to sell the tickets,
Yeah.
you know, and I think I found it on like a third party app. I don't remember what app it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah. Going back to what you were talking about with like the patterns of the vendors at the venues, I think I figured out yours at Dodger Stadium. You usually start in right field, huh? And then make your way all
Left.
the way to left. Yeah.
So yeah, so the vending room is on the right field. Forgot, like section 30 something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But to reload, we only have that one vending come. Like once you sell out, you have to come all the way back to that one spot.
Yeah.
So it's just convenient. I try to start. So field level and loge, the vendors, we like to avoid, believe it or not, like the home plate.
Yeah.
Everybody behind the home plate is usually people that like kind of barely buy what we're selling. And then on loge level, believe it or not, a lot of the guests that get invited to the game through families or players or whatever, they sit behind home plate on loge. So the corners of Dodger Stadium, we call it the corners, where the foul pole is.
Yeah.
It's always people who normally don't come to a lot of baseball games all year, so they get that ticket and they're always buying. It's always people buying stuff on those corners. I'll go down one aisle, I'll sell like 15 ice creams,
Yeah.
where if I go behind home plate, I'll sell like one.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a big difference,
Yeah.
you know, so...
And you would think the people behind home plate too would be like ballers and just like, yeah, give me
Yeah,
like
give
5
me-
of them.
yeah. But no, they just... normally the people I think that go to like behind the home plate, I feel like they go to a lot of games, so they're just like, I don't want to get another ice cream sandwich. I had one
Yeah.
yesterday's game,
Yeah.
you know. So, but nonetheless, I switch it off. Sometimes I'll start left. Sometimes I'll start in the left pavilion. Sometimes it really just depends, because like how much time it takes for me to sell my load, and then, you know, once I'm done, a lot of people think, and I say this like very nicely. I tell people, I tell people I only come down the aisle one time per game. And like a lot of people always laugh at that. And I'm like, I'm being dead serious.
No,
like, you will not see me.
It's
like,
true.
again,
Because
like,
whenever I run into you, I don't see you after that point.
Ever again.
Yeah.
Because we just don't, because the games are so fast, we don't double lap. Like, why am I going to go back the same aisle
That nobody wanted.
Like, I get it. If I pull up in one aisle, it's second inning and nobody says no to ice cream, there's a good chance that if I go again in the 7th, there might be people that will say yes, but those people hella missed out, because the stadium is so big. You can do one aisle in a whole circle and the game's over. Like, you're not
Yeah.
even done with the whole circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Are there any crazy standout games that come to your head that you have done vending? Like,
the World Series
Yeah.
game 1,
I was gonna
Freddie
say.
Freeman on a walk-off grand slam.
I was gonna say
To
that's
beat
gotta
the
be there.
Yankees. And the crowd goes wild. Freddie Freeman. It was so crazy. I was already off the clock. I was with my friend Steven. He's an usher. We were right there by the right foul pole. I was watching the end of the game. They just walked Mookie. He was like, bro, they just walked Mookie. I can't believe they just walked Mookie. Boom, bases are loaded. Are you serious? Like Freddie Freeman is about to be at bat right now. This is a now or never clutch. I'm like, my friend goes, watch this. It's about to be a grand slam home run to the right field pavilion. And guess what? Boom, first pitch. Oh, 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 it was so crazy. Freddie Freeman for the W. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That like set the tone for like the whole series.
Oh yeah.
As much as I wanted them to bring it back to LA and win here, I was like, we don't need to. Just boom, just beat the Yankees in their hometown so they remember this forever.
Yeah, yeah. I knew that one was easily going to be at the top of your mind because if it just happening like a month or two ago, and I was going to ask you where you were because I remember we met up probably like third inning somewhere around there, and I was like, I thought of that as I was writing the notes. I was like, where was he? Because I know you were there that day. And I remember when they walked Mookie, I said, they're literally saying do or die because it was 2 outs.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's like,
and they walked Mookie. I could not believe that. I was like, bro, because Mookie comes clutch.
Yeah.
A lot of people doubted him like all season long. Super doubted. I mean, you know, some mentally, I'm sure like we all go through stuff, bro. We're all human.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
of course.
And so, baseball is not an easy sport, dude.
No.
Trying to hit a baseball at 100 miles per hour. Let me tell you, it's super difficult. I already struggle at 70 miles per hour, like at the batting cages. Like I struggle at 70 miles per hour. Could you imagine 80, 90, 100, like with a pro? They get paid millions of dollars to hit the target. Boom, boom,
and switching it up.
And switching it up.
Like you get a heater at 100 and then they drop a change up on you at 70. And it's a tough, dude. It's the only sport where you can fail 7 times and be a Hall of Famer.
Man.
Baseball is forever to me the best sport. Are there any other moments? Obviously, I knew that would be on there, but you've done it for so long. Are there any other games that stand out to you that you've been a part of?
Man, I went to me and my good friend Alex. Shout out Alex. We went to a Padres Dodgers game. It was during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Dodgers at Petco Park. I was the only. And I still have to upload that video. I was the only Dodger fan in the whole section.
Yeah.
It was 8-0. The Dodgers won that day, but it was like 6th inning. I made the whole row leave. I had the whole row to myself. I was the only Dodger fan.
You posted this on your story,
I posted it on my story. I was like dancing, like, ooh, I'm the only East. Let's go. And they were just mad. They were just mad.
Yeah, that rivalry has grown a ton in the past like 5 years. And at the start, it was like when I started watching baseball, these two teams couldn't have cared less about each other. Now they want to strangle each other as soon as they see each other. And I still have half my friends who are like, they're not even a rival to us. But, I mean, even Mookie said it. Like, he said this is a rivalry, and this was the toughest competition to them in the playoffs.
I would say so, for sure. No, the Padres have been finally spending money after all these years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm happy for San Diego. That's my hometown. I'm glad that they're packing out the stadium as they should. You know, the Chargers left, sadly, you know. So they pretty much only got the Padres now. San Diego FC, MLS soccer team, soon to become, you know, San Diego's little soccer team. I'm happy for that, too. I love Petco Park. Great food.
Yep. I think it has the best food of any stadium I've been to.
Man, so many so many options, bro.
The barbecue and the first base line,
super
amazing.
Good.
I've had sushi there.
Yeah.
All kinds of foods at Petco.
Super
it really
good.
is the best.
And then you're right there by Gas Lamp, so the after party don't stop. Like you can bar hop there. I mean, I love San Diego. I'll forever. That's my city till I die. And yeah, it's a beautiful stadium. It has the biggest screen in all of MLB. I think that's really cool for people who have trouble to see, like hard to see things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's really bold and it's a big screen. Like I really love that. So when people get put on the big screen, it's like blasted.
Yeah.
I had a couple. They while I was vending there, the Padres did put me on the big screen a couple times for sure. But nothing like the Dodger Stadium, nothing like the Dodgers organization, nothing like the franchise in LA. I mean, it's really like I belong here. Yeah. You know, so I've been really thankful for the past 6 seasons I've been with the Dodgers. And I'm just trying to grow. Honestly, I have a big goal. My big goal is to become the first ever vendor bobblehead at Dodger Stadium in history.
That would be
They've
amazing.
never had one. I think it would be super cool to give to the fans
Yeah.
because they've never had a vendor bobblehead, and it's showing the vending community from stadium to outside of the stadium to the people on the streets, the food carts, the fruit carts, everything, all the street vendors and stadium vendors. It's like, just a little token of appreciation. It would be cool. And then for me, I'm building a following with the Dodger community little by little.
Mm.
So why not me, and then give it out to the fans, like 40,000 of them or
Yeah.
30,000 of them, So I think that would be a great. That's the goal. I think I just need to build a following, like a bigger following for sure,
Yeah.
because that's a big franchise.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this for like 7 years, and it can be hard to get through to some MLB teams. And I'm even talking about the Angels. Like, we've had our trials with them, and we're still pushing every day just because of what they tell me. I'm not giving up. There's definitely a future where I want to be able to do bigger things, and right now it may not be what they want, but soon, keep grinding, keep pushing, they'll figure it out. They'll know what they're missing out on.
What's one, because you're like a diehard Angels fan, like
Yeah.
you have like over like 50 bobbleheads like right in front of me,
Oh yeah.
all Angels.
No, there's some Dodgers in there.
What's
Very few.
what's what would be like something that, like, if there was one thing they were like, all right, we'll collaborate, or we'll let you do one thing for this organization, what would it be? And what type of impact do you think it would have on the franchise?
One thing I've wanted to do, this is like a personal goal. I want to throw out a first pitch.
Oh,
I,
nice.
I think it would be amazing to do it for my favorite team, of course. And we've tried to make that push, and I'm not giving up on it. And I just would love to do it. And if they gave me a big enough heads up, and I've said it doesn't have to be like a game in June. You can give me September 30th, and it's like the last home game. And I'll bring in more fans than you would have gotten that day.
No, that would be crazy.
If you've given
Dude.
me enough heads up.
Your
like,
following is really big. I
Thank
mean, you have a lot of Angel fans that just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they probably like the team more because of you.
I've had fans tell me, they're like, I became an Angel fan because of your videos. And
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like
it's
that.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely putting in work, and I really like that you're holding it down for the team that you grew up liking and love.
Thank you.
And so I think that's definitely a possibility. I even thought that myself. I'm like, man, imagine. And to throw out the first pitch
Yeah.
at Dodger Stadium, Tweezy, the vendor, our one and only. Like, I mean, that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So I've even thought about that myself
Yeah.
too.
I want it to happen. I believe it'll happen one day. But when it does, if I screw it up, if I don't throw a strike, I'm going to be so
Oh
sad.
man, you'll be like, I should have threw it like this.
Yeah.
This was my moment to shine.
But we've talked with people involved in the Angels media team, and there's just things they see differently currently, but hopefully that'll all change. And there's guys definitely in the content creating space that have changed that game, like Bat Boys Baseball and everything they did in DC, getting on the field with media passes and everything. I believe that's something me, my channel, my friend Tony Todd can all make come true, and we just have to prove it to them. And some teams are stricter than others. It's just every team has their own view of how they see this field and what we do and everything. But yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to get the media passes, and because I mean, like, some reporters, like, they're out there just asking negative questions, like, so when you gave up that home run in the ninth inning to lose the game, it's like, dude, I'm going out there. I'm gonna ask you fun questions. Like I'm not gonna be asking you anything negative. Like, you're not gonna be looking at me like, what the hell did you just ask me? Like, so I remember specifically when we were trying to make this happen, I saw one news channel, which I've never heard of, and it was called like Coastal News. And I was like, Coastal News can get out here, but like, you won't allow a content creator to like come do their thing. I've heard in the past that they've had bad luck with another content creator that kind of ruined it for everybody. But there's so many teams in baseball, and there's so many sports here in California. So the Angels would be the dream to, like, obviously keep doing this kind of content with. But I mean, there's all kinds of teams out there, and when it comes to doing the content, I don't really care who it is. I mean, like, I'll go and make content with any team, whoever's willing. But I just want to grow the game of baseball, and I've always said that. And the game of baseball, I think, content creating wise, is bigger than it ever has been.
No, it's been
Yeah.
super big. You and a couple others.
Yeah.
I can't name a few off the top of my head, but no, I mean, with the camera and the internet, it has grew like sports in general and fan bases overall. I mean, who would have thought like after COVID, I would just, because Tweezy's been my nickname for a long time. Who would have thought, like, you know what? Let me just change my Instagram name to Tweezy the Vendor, because I vend for a living, and I was like, Tweezy's my nickname.
Yeah.
Let me just put it together. And then the whole It Ain't Easy Be Tweezy, like everything kind of like was coming together. And who would have thought, like, I'm almost at 10,000 organic followers, no fake followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm almost at 4,000 on TikTok. It's looking good. I've like a few hundred on Twitter. Nothing crazy. I'm not too consistent on Twitter, but I'm trying. And
follow it all, everybody.
Tweezy follow it all. Tweezy the Vendor.
Yes, sir.
He'll put it in the video.
Yes, sir.
And so it's been great. I mean, man, it's for all ages, dude. Like kids to older people. I mean, I get a lot of love at Dodger Stadium, and that's why I feel like, I'm not saying I deserve a bobblehead, but it would be nice to, you know, feel appreciated,
get recognition.
And get recognition. And
I've had that feeling too, man.
And give to the fans, you know. So
yeah.
But they're a $1 billion industry corporation. And so I try to monitor everything I post, you know what I'm saying? So if they do decide to ever work with me
you
or
don't
collaborate,
get caught lacking.
yeah, so you know they got to look to appeal.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that for sure.
So I know it's not through the Dodgers, but you do have a bobblehead. How did that happen?
So Pablo, shout out Pablo. I forgot his Instagram at the moment because he recently did a PV Bobbles.
If you go to his Instagram, it's like one of the pin posts.
I'm gonna look it up.
It'll be right there to look at.
I gotta.
Let's see.
Show the love. Let me see.
Let's see.
PV _ Bobbles _ 818. Pablo V. This guy, it's actually crazy. I saw this guy in the left field pavilion. He was holding Joe Kelly's first ever mariachi bobblehead that he custom made himself. And I didn't know he did until he told me, and I was like, "Yo, that's a cool bobblehead."
Yeah.
You made that? Like, how'd you? Like, he's like, "Yeah, I made it from scratch. Everything's custom painted, and it was like super cool." I asked him, I was like, "Yo, it would be really cool. Like, would you be able to make one of me?" He's like, "Yeah, actually, I've never done that before. A vendor bobblehead. Like, let me see what I could do." And if you go check out my page on Instagram, Tweezy the Vendor, it's one of the pinned posts, along with the custom airbrush sweater that my boy Ligma Airbrush from San Diego, super talented airbrushed artist. It was like exactly like about an hour and 20 minutes, like from start to finish. That jacket sweater. I only wore it once because I just want to keep it real nice. I told myself like I want to go to a dugout club game again in the future, and I want to wear that sweater. But yeah, that bobblehead. So he ended up, I mean, dude, I fell in love with the bobblehead. That is the main reason. Once he made me a custom one, and I got so much good feedback from it. I love the idea. I thought, dude, how crazy would it be if the Dodgers franchise say, "Hey, we have this vendor that we always put on the big screen. Let's create a vendor bobblehead because we've never created a vendor bobblehead. And let's give it out to the fans." And I thought, why not me? So that's how that kind of...
If there's any team I believe that could actually happen, I'd say it's the Dodgers, because the amount of players that I'm like, this person's getting a bobblehead. Like, I've seen some players that I'm like, really? And they have gone to like all their players. I'm sure you look at the Dodgers roster, they've all had a bobblehead. So I believe if there's anybody they'll listen and have that conversation with, I'd say the Dodgers are high up there. And you've also been to a Super Bowl, by the way.
Two
Super Bowls. One was Kansas City Eagles, and then what was the other one?
The other one, Rams and the Bengals.
Rams. Oh, that's right. It's SoFi.
Right here, SoFi.
So what's it like going to a Super Bowl? I've never been to one.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Man, the tickets aren't cheap for sure.
No.
It's always like the cheapest ticket is always like 10,000. So
Yeah.
I'm just like blessed um to have had the opportunity to go to a Super Bowl even twice. I was supposed to go to the one in Vegas.
Yeah.
But I ended up just staying at the PGA, the famous PGA Tour golf tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
It's epic, man. All the ballers come out. It's crazy. All the any celebrity of a celebrity comes out. It's crazy. It's really, honestly, it's actually crazy. It's insane what just a seat, that same seat that goes for a couple $100 during a regular season game, and then boom, Super Bowl, that same seat, how much thousands of dollars it is. I mean, it's definitely a fun time. I definitely had a blast in LA, and I definitely had a blast in Arizona.
Yeah. You may have missed out on the Vegas one, but me and you are both going to be in Vegas for WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, WrestleMania. I'm excited. I'm excited.
You ever worked the WWE show or venue or anything like that?
Oh, WrestleMania, SoFi.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh, wait.
yeah.
I was there at that one.
Oh, did you go to that one?
Yeah. We didn't know each other yet.
No, we
point,
didn't know each other.
But we were both going to be in Vegas for that one, and I have always grown up a wrestling fan. Have you ever watched it or through all the years or anything?
Growing up, I watched it a little bit, like John Cena, Undertaker.
Oh, that's my guy. That's the whole reason I'm going to the one in
Steve
Vegas.
Austin. I mean, I grew up, like, I definitely, I have an older brother. I grew up, like, a little bit WWE, I thought it was cool growing up and stuff. Kind of fell out of it, like, growing older. I was like, it's, like, kind of fake or whatever, But it's still cool, though. Like, now that I'm my age right now, I kind of look back at it, I'm like, man, it's actually pretty cool. It's like a storyline, it's action packed, so it's definitely cool. It has it's a live show that they throw on. So
I mean, the whole reason I got back into it was because of the one at SoFi.
Nice.
Never had the money to go to a show growing up or go to anything big like WrestleMania. And then when I heard it was coming to Los Angeles, I was like, man, I haven't watched in probably 7 years or something like that. But my childhood would be complete if I got to say I went to a WrestleMania.
Man.
So bought it and then got me hooked all over again. And it's on such a good ride. Like, because same thing basically. I grew up watching it. It kind of hit a point where it was like, okay, this, like, the product wasn't at its best at a certain point. And I was like, and I stopped watching for a long time. And then when Mania came back here, went there and was hooked in all the storylines again, because I was like, if I'm going to go to the Mania, like, I might as well watch the months leading up so I know what I'm watching, what's the story, and then just never stopped after that.
Years ago, I've been vending long enough. I could have worked the WrestleMania at 49ers, and I could have worked the Super Bowl at 49ers.
Yeah.
But at the time I was, younger.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know a lot of vendors in LA, or I didn't really know, like, how to get there. Like, usually when you want to go to a new venue, and if you have the connection to go, you need to find a way there.
Yeah.
And then, like, how to get in, check in, and all that stuff. So I was just kind of young and just didn't really know a lot of people to get myself there.
Yeah.
So I ended up skipping out on a Super Bowl at Niner Stadium and skipping out on the WrestleMania. It was a couple years ago. I forgot when, at Niner Stadium. So I'm excited for the Vegas one, definitely.
Yeah, me
Plus
too.
in Vegas, like, what?
Yeah. And The Rock is rumored to be doing this one.
Man, I hope, dude. Imagine he's a host.
Dude.
And The Rock is cooking.
He's rumored to be wrestling. So
that's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard.
So that would be another childhood dream.
My best friend Choche, he's going with his brother. We can both work. We can all work WrestleMania in Vegas.
Yeah.
But they're actually they bought tickets instead.
Yeah.
That's how big how big, like, wrestling fans, like, they are.
Well, doing this job, you are there, a part of the game, a part of the event. Do you feel like you're taking it in? Like, do you feel like you get to experience it even though you're out there vending?
Oh yeah, dude. It's actually funny you say that. I've actually met people to just vent. Like, there's been viral videos of, like, vendors across the country that, like, you'll see, like, just dancing at a concert, like, not even selling nothing, just like ooh,
just to get in.
Just to get in. And, like, at the Bad Bunny show in SoFi.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nights, one of the videos, it was of me. It didn't go too viral, but I got a couple thousand views. Somebody had posted, and I was like dancing with my beer tub with my headlight. I was just like getting it, like, hey,
Yeah.
the vibes were good. I'm selling cut waters, and I was selling beer. So like, yeah, no, you get to be a part of the fan experience.
Yeah.
And then you get it, like, you're not a part of the show, but like you're there living it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
so it's been great. Literally, I have a friend. He likes baseball so much. He'll bring a knee pad to work because, to protect your knee. Usually if you sell beer, most guys who sell beer, they wear a knee pad. So when you take a knee, and to be like,
doesn't kill him.
yeah, it doesn't hurt him. So my friend, he takes a knee a lot at Dodger games, and he's like, he'll make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But he's more like, hell yeah, I get to be like up close and personal. Nobody tells me nothing. I'm on the knee, like nobody. I'm not in nobody's way, and he's just right there watching like pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch, and
Yeah.
they're not like, oh, you gotta hit the quota.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have like high volume of sales, but it really, like I said, it just depends like where you work, and then what you're given. Like the pizza guys at Angel Stadium, there's only 2 of them, sometimes 3, but usually only 2. Bob and Dunn. They've been at Angel Stadium for 20 to 27 years.
Whew.
So I'll never see pizza at a night game ever in my life. Like as long as they show up, trust me, I'm not working at Angel Stadium for more than a couple years.
Yeah.
So now if the Angel Stadium packed like the stadium, I mean, shoot, I could see myself work there at least 2, 3, 4 more years.
Yeah. At least the nice thing is that you live in a 2-team city. When one team's on the road, the other team's home. So
I like that a lot.
It feels like a full-time job because there's always a team here. Yeah, like compared to like if you were in, I don't know, Minnesota, when they're on the road, they're on the road. And then that's work that you're missing.
So my friend told me, because we worked Dodgers and Angels together, he was telling me that 6 games collide for the next season.
Like they're here at the same time.
At the same time, yeah. So I gotta pick and choose. A lot of people are like, "Can you pick and choose?" I could pick and choose.
Yeah.
So,
well, outside of the job, you are a Dodger fan, but you have San Diego roots. So how did you become a Dodger fan?
definitely when I started working there, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I already had experience in the vending industry, and then jumping into Dodger Stadium and just doing it again, but under like a new team and new fan base, it would just felt so good because like most of the Dodger fans, they're Mexican and I'm half Mexican. So I kind of just felt like with my people, and like anytime I would want to have fun while I'm working, it was like acceptance rather than like angry, grumpy fans, like the old Padre fans when I was like starting vending.
Yeah.
So it just, the whole atmosphere, the stadium, like it was a good feeling just being in LA and experiencing like working there. And then when I started working there, the goal was to start selling beer because it was the first time in history they were going to have walking beer vendors at Dodger Stadium. And then I became the Modelo man.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the whole thing going up at Top Deck. I would go down the aisle and I'd be like, "What time is it?" And then everybody would be like, "Modelo time." And then I'd end up selling like maybe like 10 or 15 beers per aisle.
Yeah.
And being Top Deck, it wasn't always packed. They only had one beer vendor walking the seats in Top Deck, which was me. And I had a Modelo and Michelob Ultra. And so I was making enough money to want to come out to LA from San Diego.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, but the first season I started working at the Dodger Stadium, I didn't really have like a lot of people that where I can just like stay. Like, "Hey, yo, can I crash on the couch?" Yeah. So I would sleep in my car outside of Planet Fitness.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much like the whole season. And I started working there
Because that drive is like 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like 2. Yeah, it depends on traffic.
Yeah.
And so, let's say there was a 7-game series all back to back. I didn't want to do that drive back to back just to sleep and then wake up, So I thugged it out right there on in my car.
That's the grind. That's going from the bottom up, man.
Bottom up.
Yeah.
And because I was like thinking like, well, I could afford $100 a night at a hotel, but then I'm cutting into my profits and the reason why I'm out here, So I was like, well, if I could just thug it out and sleep in the car, shower at the gym, go eat whenever, do my day and all that.
So now you're out here?
I've been really blessed. After COVID, they called all the vendors. They said, hey, like we're going to be doing a full season with all the fans. You're more than welcome to come back if you like.
Yeah.
And so I hit up my good friend Yavin. He has like a little apartment in South Central, LA. And it's been about almost 3 years now. I rent his room, but he only visits 1 or twice a year.
Oh, wow.
Like for the past 2-3 years, because he lives out in Atlanta. He owns property in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So he has just a couple things there, and then his mail comes in there. So I just been really blessed. Super discounted rate, super cheap.
Honestly, if you can find that in California,
man, take advantage.
Yeah, seriously. But I love that story that you were starting just from sleeping in your car and understanding like I could be cutting into my funds, but like I'm going to be smart about it. I'm going to make some sacrifices, and look where it's paid off now, like after all the years.
It's looking good. Honestly, I'm really proud of myself for my accomplishments. It's definitely been only going up financially, spiritually, So I'm pretty happy with myself to where I've come, and it's only growing. It's only going up from here. I'm really excited after a World Series, Dodgers championship. I'm really excited to see what's to come for next year. I definitely want to post 3 times as much as I've been posting like the past 2.5 years. I've been building my name out there.
Yeah.
So that's definitely to come to works.
Yeah. I want to know the story about your Dodgers visor, because I remember one of the times we mic'd you up. You guys can find mic'd up content with him on his page, on my YouTube channel. You were talking to somebody and they were offering you like $200 for that visor, but you wouldn't sell it to them. So what's the story behind it?
So, because I've been growing like my name, all the pins, I wish I had my hat. It's in the car. All the pins have a meaning. Majority of the pins were given to me, and then some of the pins were like personal ones that I chose out myself.
Yeah.
And so when I first started Dodgers, I would wear a LA visor, nothing on it.
Yeah.
And then one day after COVID, I was like, well, let me add an engraved at Tweezy the vendor on my visor on both sides.
Yeah.
And so I was rocking that for like a solid month, maybe 2 months. But I feel like it was just 1 month. And then the Dodgers said, hey, like, you're going against the guidelines. Like, you're not allowed to self-promote.
Damn.
So I don't know. Maybe if it didn't have the at, maybe it would be allowed. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
So I gained like 2,000 or more followers because I was like, yo, just follow me. Boom.
Right here.
Tweezy the vendor.
Yeah.
And so it was easy. They never would misspell it. I would gain like 50 followers a day. It was ridiculous, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So now when I had to when that got taken away, I went back to the regular visor. So I was like, well, I'm not going to just have an empty visor. I was like, well, let me just start adding pins to it. So I've been adding pins to it, and I have a bunch of cool pins on them.
Yeah.
And there was a guy in the pavilion multiple times, not just this one guy, multiple times people have offered me like, hey, I'll give you $100 for your whole visor with all your pins. I'll give you $150 for your whole visor and all your pins. I'll give you $40 for that one visor right there. I'll give you $50 for that Super Bowl visor right there.
That's crazy.
And people would just like want my pins. They'd want the whole visor. They'd want everything. And I'd be like, no, it's not for sale. Like, you can offer me $1,000 cash. I know it sounds dumb, but you can offer me $1,000 cash. Hey, take this visor off with all those pins that you have. I'll give you $1,000 cash, and I will say no.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say no. Now, 10,000 or more. Hey, we're talking. I'll clean it a little for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, like, it's money. Like, it does. I'm not like, money is not the whole world to me. I'm very money hungry, and I'm very like motivated.
Yeah.
For like, because one of my biggest goals in life is to retire my mom.
Awesome.
So my hunger is like, I'm hungry every day for success.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing my mom. My mom's 61 now. I'm tired of seeing her work.
Mm-hmm.
She's been the backbone. She's been holding it down, back home in San Diego. And I love my mom to death. I'll do anything for her. And so I push through and I grind every single day because, you know, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But yeah. Awesome.
I love that. And I have a question that I think is going to be a lot of fun right here. Well, with all the hype, connections, and fun you have at Dodger Stadium, I want to know if you can build a Dodger Stadium Avengers. Fans that you think stand out, other workers. So I'm going to have you on there. There's 6 Avengers. So we got 6, starting with you. So we got 1 for Tweezy. And then just like any fans that stand out that you think deserve to be on there or other coworkers.
That's funny. The Helmet Man, the LA Dodger Dog, Hiccups, the LA Baseball Head. Gotta have the LA Baseball Head.
Yeah, we got 5 right there.
Yeah, quick. The Blue Mohawk.
Blue Mohawk. Yeah. If you want to keep going, we can keep going. Avengers grew all the way to like 30 by
man. I would have to look everybody up, but these are just boom right off the top of my dome.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh man.
I mean, I definitely think the ones you named are solid contenders, and they definitely have.
Oh, the Great Bambino, the dog, the famous dog.
Oh, the one that wears the sunglasses all the time.
Sunglasses.
I love that.
I don't know why I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Who else?
He can be like the mascot.
Let me see. Yeah, no, he's got to be the mascot, man.
Yeah.
I love how they always throw him up on the screen. That's amazing. I really love. It's actually crazy. My boy's dog is not doing so good. We talked like a couple weeks ago, and I really hope that the dog recovers from what it's going through right now. But it's having some like health issues. But I hope his dog pulls through. His dog is, man. That's the legend dog right there, man.
Dogs are the best, man. I mean, both my childhood dogs passed away in 2023.
Damn.
And we've had dogs our whole life, and I love dogs like forever. If there's not a dog in my household, then it's weird. Like,
right.
Yeah.
It's like you know, a dog's a man's best friend. You know what I mean? Like
it's true. Yeah.
I love dogs. I love dogs for sure.
Yeah.
I grew up with dogs. I love all types of dogs. But yeah, no, that the Avengers of the Dodger fans, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'd have to.
I mean, there's definitely ones that you name that stand out to me.
They stand out.
I know. Like, I know Baseball Head. I've seen him around. I've sat right in front of Hot Dog, LA Dodger Dog guy. Who are the others you said? So it was Dodger Dog, Baseball Head.
Moneyball Steve. You heard of him?
Yeah.
He caught Edmonds' home run ball in the playoffs. Yeah, that's crazy. He sticks out. Isaiah is this short cholo dude. He's super cool, bald. He's in the left field pavilion, and he's always like, "Let him know, Tweezy. Show him what's up. Let him know it's time, my boy. Let's go." Like every time he sees me, like but he's a loud, proud Dodger fan in the left field pavilion. I think he's a season ticket holder. Will Sports Deli. He's a season ticket holder in left field pavilion. He makes similar like Dodger merch and stuff like that. Trying to think, man.
So this was the question before we started recording that I told you. I'm like, I got one on here that's like already a good idea for a reel and everything. So I'm gonna have to get all these Instagrams from you, and then we'll put them on screen to show the Avengers of Dodger Stadium fans and workers and everything.
Yeah, no, that would be dope.
Yeah. And then we were also talking about, before I hit the record button, you had a video game pass, competitive video games?
Oh yeah, so my gamer tag is Dilemma.
Okay.
Dilemuh. I play on Xbox. Everybody's like, "Oh, you don't got PlayStation." I could play PlayStation when I go to my homie's pad and I play PlayStation. I do just as good. I just don't. I grew up with a brother. We shared an Xbox. So my hand, like, I just grew up with a joystick up here and a joystick down here.
Yeah.
I never really liked how the PlayStation, they're next to each other. I've always had one just,
one higher than the other. Yeah.
I'm just an Xbox head. That's just what it is. So I started playing competitive video games when I was, I want to say like 12, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Gears of
Halo
War,
3
Call of Duty.
was one of my childhood games.
Halo 3 is like one of the all-time most, like, if you had an Xbox, you had Halo 3.
Yeah.
Like, everybody had Halo 3. That was like one of the best games of all time. The competitive scene was sick.
This has nothing to do with like the competitive scene, but it's something that has stood out to me. It's such a little thing, and maybe somebody out there listening has noticed this. Have you seen that BMW car where its tail lights look like an energy sword?
No.
Dude, there's a BMW.
No way.
You
gotta show me.
I'll try to find it. It looks exactly like an energy sword, and only people that played Halo
They
are
would
going to be
know.
able to see it.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn. No, I never seen that. That's cool.
let me see.
I remember one time during the Halo 3 days, they gave away a Warthog.
Really?
Or a Warhog. I think that's what it's called. Warhog.
It's like
that's sick.
pretty much exactly it. Like every time I see it driving around, watch, you're gonna see.
That's funny.
You're gonna see like
on the Beamer
10 now. Now that I've pointed it out, you're gonna be like,
That's
there it is.
crazy.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Only if you played Halo.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So yeah, I went to local tournaments. It's actually crazy. So when Halo 4 released, this was one of the coolest like tournaments I've ever done.
Yeah.
I was a big free for all head. Free for all head means pretty much like it's 8 players in a match, and everybody goes against everybody.
Every man for themselves.
First one with the most kills wins. Usually there's a finishing kill count. And I was really good at free for alls. The night it was midnight launches was like my childhood. Like,
oh my god,
stay up all night, eat like.
I remember sitting outside
midnight,
of
like,
GameStops for like new Call of Duties,
GameStop,
and stuff,
yeah,
and they would
yeah.
have the game truck out there as you wait. And yeah, I did probably like 3 of those, just waiting for new.
Oh,
Call
dude,
of
I've done
Duties.
like 6 or 7 because you got to think like I played Halo, I played Call of Duty, I played Gears of War. These were games that were competitive. That I liked playing, and so I would go to all those midnight launches.
Yeah.
So it was like multiple a year. But
anybody young in here, y'all will never understand. Like,
man,
because now a game drops, you just buy it in your PlayStation
yeah, you
store.
just online.
But back in the day when it was all just disc, man, like literally I had to ask my parents at like 12 years old, can I go stay at this GameStop down the street
For like a couple hours.
Yeah, wait till the game drops, get it, come home, and then they would
Play.
never want me to play it right when I got home.
Right.
Because it'd be like 1 a.m.
Oh my god.
But I'd be like, too bad. I'd play.
and then like when you rip open that fresh seal, like
Yeah.
it's like smooth case and oh man.
I think that's the reason on my PS5 why I got the one with the disc slot, because
Yeah,
we grew up in
you
the
got-
era of having
with
a disc.
disc. Yeah, you gotta have the disc. So Halo 4 midnight launch, 132 at the Microsoft store in San Diego at Fashion Valley Mall.
Yeah.
It's still there, the Microsoft store. I went to a lot of tournaments there. Shout out Fanboy Gaming. Hope they're doing good.
Yeah.
132 people. I was one of them. It was a free-for-all tournament. It was so big. It was, if you weren't first place, you weren't advancing. So it was one game, one try. First place only advances. The tournament was so big, they had to roll it over. We had to roll over like 32 competitors to the next day.
Oh, man.
So they were like, hey, come back around 5, 6. And everybody showed up. First place got to win an Xbox, a whole Xbox 360, 250 gigabyte. We're talking retail value $350.
Yeah.
Second place got a $100 gift card. Third place got a $50 gift card. And guess what? Your boy Dilemma with the W. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Got the W. Yeah, and then I ended up selling it to a family friend for $50 less. So I sold it for $300 because I already had an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So I just turned the prize into cash, a little cheap, and it
It's
sold
that
like
business
this too.
mind right there.
Yeah, so it was cool. Yeah, I've always been a gamer all my life.
Yeah.
Growing up, I grew up with a GameCube. GameCube is actually one of my all-time favorite, apart from like PS1, PS2, Xbox original. GameCube is like one of my all-time favorite, like old school.
My first system was 64, but
Nice.
right after 64 was GameCube. Right after
yeah,
that.
64.
Yeah.
My family was so poor back then. I went to my neighbor's house just to go play 64 because we couldn't afford it,
Yeah.
So, and then he had a Super Nintendo too. So I never owned a 64 or a Super Nintendo, but a couple of my cousins had both of those, and so that's the only time like we would play those games and stuff. But we did own a PS1, Xbox original, PS2, and a GameCube. As far as like the old, and I think we owned a Sega Genesis.
Oh man.
Man.
See, those are all like if it's not after the 64, then I never touched it. But I definitely know like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and all that. What about 3 games? They can be from any system. If you could only play 3 for the rest of your life.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Like retro or
Yeah, if you want to pick a retro game, you can pick a retro game. It can be anything. It could be from handheld to current day PS5. Like, there's so many classics over the years.
damn, that's you got me good right there. I want to throw Smash Bros. Melee in the man,
Classic.
That's a super classic.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Only 3. I'm thinking like Tony Hawk Underground.
Okay.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh, Mario Kart Double Dash
man,
was so good.
and Bomberman.
I've never heard of Bomberman.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bomberman! You were this walking bomb.
Yeah.
And you would try and eliminate the other bomb characters. And it was a multiplayer game, and I grew up playing it. It's super good. They had it for like a lot of consoles. Yeah, that was Bomberman. I remember that too. So that was those come to mind for sure. Those just
Awesome.
right off the bat.
Awesome.
What about you?
Oh man.
3 games only.
3
Make it retro.
games.
Anything before 2010.
Retro. Okay.
So 80s, 90s.
SmackDown versus Raw 2007.
7. I knew you were gonna
Dude,
say that.
How?
Everybody loved the 2000. That one was a
Dude,
good one.
It's the GOAT of the wrestling games. I literally saw somebody, I forgot where this question was. It was on some forum online or something. It said, if you had to pick one wrestling game of all, or no, they were asking wrestlers, like, what's your favorite wrestling game of all time? Actual WWE wrestlers. And none of them said it. And then the top comment was SmackDown versus Raw 2007. And I was thinking it as the wrestlers were answering. And I was like, if you know wrestling video games, that's number 1. And as soon as I read the comments, I'm like, yeah, see? So that one for me, I still have it. If I wanted to pop it in, I could pop
PS2?
it in. Xbox 360.
Oh, 360.
So in the other
Cool.
room, my 360 still works after all
Sick.
these. Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
it has like a alien skin cover on it.
Oh,
that you
nice.
would like peel off.
Peel off. Yeah.
So that one, Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Oh, for the GameCube? Or no, for PS2?
Also 360.
And 360
Yeah,
as well.
I had it for GameCube. And then I lost it.
That one was a good game. I grew up with that game.
I love that game.
Man, so good.
We've talked about this on the podcast, how there's so many things that are being made into movies nowadays, like video games and stuff.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, and
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to, like, Last of Us and just all kinds of properties these days are being made into movies. And I've never had that feeling of like, man, I want to know what it's like to see a game I loved and I know everything about made into something, because I didn't play those games. But now that Sonic is going through its trilogy right now, especially, I'm so excited for the one coming out in like 2 weeks, because this movie is strongly based on that game.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so I'm like,
is there a Sonic movie coming out?
On December 19th, I believe.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm excited then.
Shadow's coming. I can't wait. That's like
gonna
my
be sick.
childhood. I played that game to death. And that same thing like SmackDown versus Raw, it still works. And I have all my progress still on it. Like,
oh, wow.
So those two definitely. And, oh, man. What popped into my head, but I'm not going to say it because it's not retro. I was going to say Minecraft. I've played since it started.
Yeah, that was a cool game.
But man, I mean Pokemon. Like literally give me like Pokemon Red, Fire Red, like
For the Game Boy?
yeah, dude, I had that
Leaf
in my
Green,
hand, Leaf
Sapphire.
Green. Yeah. Like I wasn't old enough or I guess young enough to where I was playing like Crystal and Yellow and all that. I know those are like the OGs, but like the first one I remember playing, it was either Ruby or it was Fire Red, and that's what got me into Pokemon.
That's sick.
Like for gaming, like the TV show obviously was the first thing when I was a kid.
Man, speaking, it's right on the Fire Red. Pokemon Fire Red, it had to have been like 5 years ago. A guy posted on OfferUp for $25. It was a brand new sealed copy of Pokemon Fire Red. Right away, it was 3 minutes posted. I offered him, I said, I'll give you $50 and come right now.
Yeah.
He sent me the address. It literally was by my old high school, like 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
I scooped it up so fast. Like weeks later, another collector was like, "You're the guy who got that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got it. I still got it in my collection. I want to grade it.
Awesome.
I would love to grade it."
Yeah, man. Crazy. Actually, you know what? I do love those games, but to make it really retro, and this will solidify it. So Sonic Adventure, SmackDown vs. Raw, and Pokemon Stadium.
For the 64?
Yeah.
Number 1 or number 2?
1. I never played 2.
Number 2?
But Stadium was
that's
one
a
of my
famous,
favorite
that's
games.
A famous. My brother called me one day. He was at the swap meet. He goes, "Hey, bro, they have this. It's like a big box Nintendo 64, and it says Pokemon Stadium on it." And I told him, I said, "Bro, that's a variant box. It's super rare. It goes for like $1,000."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, they're asking 100." I said, "Buy it right now, and I'll pay. I'll give you the cash.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. I'll give you double."
Yeah.
And then he ended up buying it, and then he was like, "I'm gonna end up keeping it." Like, he grew up on Pokemon way more than me. He could name like way more Pokemons than me. He had all the Pokemon games. I didn't really grow up like on Pokemon like that heavy. So I wasn't like too mad about it. Plus he found it himself. Like, why am I gonna be mad? Like, you know? But yeah, no, he still has it till today. It's the awesome. Pokemon. It's called the Pokemon. It's the Nintendo 64 Pokemon set.
Awesome.
It was like a bundle that came with the game. It was. Yeah, dude, it's expensive right now. If you look on eBay,
dude, especially for how much like also Pokemon cards and
are
just
going
the card
for
market
dude,
in general.
My brother had thousands of cards, bro, growing up, and he doesn't no more. Like, they're all gone.
I was just telling this story at Thanksgiving the other day. I had a whole box of Pokemon cards, like this big probably, and we were doing a yard sale, and I was selling them for $0.25 a card. Okay, and so I probably would still have most of them. I went to go pick up donuts for everybody. My grandma, if I remember this correctly, sold the whole box
for like $20
for $0.25. She thought $0.25 for the whole thing. So I get back, she's like, here's your $0.25. And I'm like, okay, where's the box? She's like, sold, here's the $0.25. And I'm like,
oh my god,
it was $0.25 a card.
Oh my god. But even if though,
yeah,
you could have possibly have been a millionaire.
I could have, dude. And that's when Pokemon cards were like first starting. So that the OG set was in that box. Like, who knows how many hollows were in there worth.
You know how many people have been through the same thing you've been through?
Yeah.
Like thousands. And it's sad. It's
And it still stings me to this day. Like, my mindset, because you never know what is big now that is still going to be like people will pay thousands for 50 years from now.
Right.
So like you look over there, all those Prime bottles you see up there,
they're brand new.
They're not brand new, but I mean, the reason I have all them is you never know how big somebody might see it and be like, I'll give you this much for that,
because you have all of them
50 years down
I've been thinking about that, about the McDonald's stuff. You know, all the McDonald's exclusive stuff. Like, I'm trying to collect them all. And stuff like that will sell for like $5,000, $10,000.
Yeah, you never know.
$50,000. Like, some people just got money and they're like, I'll buy it all.
All it takes is just at one point in time for all of it to become niche and retro and nostalgic, and then everyone's like, oh, I'll pay this much for all of it. And so
because you have it all at once. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I could imagine if you had every bobblehead that was released for Angel Stadium, it'd be like over 2,000 bobbleheads. But imagine you had that, like how much millions of dollars that would be.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who will just one single bobblehead, like at Dodger Stadium sometimes, some people just get the bobblehead and leave, and then
yeah.
it's on OfferUp, StockX within the minute. Like
a close friend of mine got the gold bobblehead for Shohei when they first released. I was like, dude, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah. Did he keep it or did he sell it?
No, they still got it.
Him? Did he keep it?
Yeah, no, he still got it. Yeah,
got it. Well, I think this was a great podcast, man.
Yeah, this was great.
Thank you for joining me. You can follow him, Tweezy the Vendor. It's going to be in the description. Remember, audio goes up on Spotify and Apple on Thursdays at 7 a.m. Video goes up on YouTube at Fridays at 7 a.m. Anything you want to say to the people, Tweezy?
Oh, yeah, man. It's just been a great honor to be right here on the podcast, episode 95, Off the Field. This will definitely not be the last time I'm on this podcast for 100%. Sure. I'll definitely be coming back in the future. And you can find me on my social platforms on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Tweezy the Vendor, TweezyTheVendor, Tweezy the Vendor. But I just want you guys to remember for the rest of your life, it ain't easy being Tweezy.
Love it. And we'll be right back on track. Mobo will be back in the seat next week. But after that week, I will be in New York. So that'll be a week off. And we'll see you guys next time. Episode 96.
Woo!
Boom.
Let's go.